Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about Smackdown 2 Now You're Roll for the PS1. Now, like I said before, this was the first wrestling game I ever played, and yeah, it's a really great one. It has a lot of cool stuff on it, a lot of cool, and a lot of wrestlers on it, like, that's just so great. And of course, like I always do, here's what the back looks like. Yeah. Now, something weird though is that, like, if you look right here, you can see it that says, yeah, like Hell in a Cell and stuff, but you can see it has the old Undertaker model. The funny thing is that you can make the old Undertaker model and create a wrestler from the first game, but you know, like, he's not automatically in the game, but you can create his wrestler. Yeah, so it's weird. But I like they put Mankind on there because of that King of the Ring 1998 match. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, on with the review of Smackdown 2. Smackdown 2 was released in 2000 for the PS1. Now the intro starts with JR saying a quote. And then we get this cool intro of clips from WWF in 2000. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool intro with clips from 2000 WWF. And it's the press start menu. And these are the loading screens. Now, a pretty cool thing about these loading screens is that they look like posters, so that's pretty cool. And then we get the menu. And you get a lot of options in the menu. Yeah, the menu song sounds pretty cool. Then we have exhibition. And then you get the match options. And there's a lot of match options on here. Like a singles match. You can select no manager or with manager. Now there are a lot of wrestlers in the game. Now on the left is their icon that you see whenever you choose them, and on the right is how they look in the game. So the first one is Chris Jericho, and then Bubba Ray Dudley, and then Eddie Guerrero, and then The Rock, and then Edge, and then Devon Dudley, Rikishi, Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, Big Boss Man, Bradshaw, Al Snow, Albert, Kane, Triple H, Undertaker, Scotty 2 Hotty, Road Dogg, Bull Buckingham, Dean Malenko, Esther Rios, Goodfather, Shane McMahon, Gangrel, Grandmaster 60, Hardcore Holly, Chris Benoit, China, Crash, D'Lo Brown, Farouk, Benaki, Ivory, Jacqueline, Kat, Leah, Mark Henry, Matt Hardy, Paul Bearer, Harry Saturn, Christian, Stephanie McMahon, Steve Blackman, Steven Richards, Taka, Tez, Test, Tori, Trish Stratus, Val Venis, McMahon, Bishop, and X-Pac. Now if you complete 1 year of season mode, you get more wrestlers such as Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, and his WrestleMania 14 attire, Billy Gunn, Michael Cole. On some versions he spelled as Michael Cole, but on this he spelled Michael Cole. So Deborah, Cactus Jet, McFoy, Joe Briscoe, Pat Patterson, Pete Gas, Rodney, Joey Abs. You can also change the rules in the game, such as KO, give up, rope break, ring out count, entrances. Yeah. There's also rules too, which are interference, match length, charge speed, arenas, mats. Also, speaking of, here are all the mats and arenas in the game. You got the Raw as War Arena, the Smackdown Arena, the Heat Arena, the No Mercy 1999 Arena, the Survivor Series 1999 Arena, the Armageddon 1999 Arena, the Royal Rumble 2000 Arena, the No Way Out 2000 Arena, the WrestleMania 2000 Arena, the Backlash 2000 Arena, the Judgment Day 2000, the King of the Ring 2000 Arena, the Fully Loaded 2000 Arena, the SummerSlam 2000 Arena, and the Unforgiven 2000 Arena. Now the entrances are kind of the same as the first game. They come out behind their Titantron, but not a full entrance. So yeah, it's the same as the first game. Also on that note, so the Undertaker, because of copyright reasons, can't use his Kid Rock song, so instead he uses the Raw's War theme. Also, there's a charge speed in the game, which has normal, fast, or fastest, and this is for how fast it takes for your finisher to load by doing moves. Oh, speaking of moves in the game, the buttons to do the moves in the game are like really easy. They're easier than the Attitude and Warzone games like the last game, Smackdown, and yeah, they're really fun to do. So yeah. There are also steps by the ring that you throw your opponent into and use them as a weapon. There's also an announce table that you can put your opponent through. You can also throw your opponent on the barricade. Also, for a little fun, here's some extra moves that I did, just if you wanted to see them. And this is what the pause menu looks like when you pause it. And then there's the tag match. You got the choice of normal tag or tornado tag. Now if you press up plus circle or down plus circle, you can do certain tag teams special moves like this special tag team move by the Hardy Boys, this special tag team move by the Hardy Boys. You can also do the 3D by the Dudley Boys by pressing up in circle, or the What's Up by the Dudley Boys. There's also a hardcore match. There are lots of weapons in the game such as a microphone, right, a belt, Alice Snow's mannequin head, steel steps, a nightstick, a ring belt, a baseball bat, a sledgehammer, a stick, Godfather's cane, another stick, a pipe, a hammer, and an urn. You can also go under the ring and change your weapon that you have. So yeah, that's pretty. There are tons of backstage arenas in the game, such as the time trial right here. You can also go on this thing, jump up of it. Also, never going to the backstage arena as this now loading screen. There's also this backstage arena. You can go to the shop zone part of this backstage arena and grab a chair there. You can also go into a restaurant in the game. You can also pick up a plate and even run behind this wall and get a mop. You can even put your opponents through their dinner tables, so that's really cool. There's also this part of the backstage area where you can climb on top of the soda machine and jump off. There's also Vince McMahon's office, which is called a VIP room. You can push your opponent to this wall, get this painting. There's also this backstage area where you can jump off of this and put your opponent through the table. So yeah, that's really cool. You can also push your opponent to this trash can and pick up and hit them with it. And also some items will follow the trash can. There's also this part of the backstage area, which is the locker room and gym room. You can also hit your opponent with this weight lift. You can also throw your opponent to this wall and go into this shower room. If you look on the back of the shower room, you can actually see a lot of signatures like Alice Snow, The Rock, so that's really cool. There's also this outside part of the area, backstage. Also interesting fact, this poster right here is of course the first Smackdown game, so it's really cool. You can also go into a pub. You can also throw your opponent in this jukebox and the song will change and a barrel will also come down and hit your opponent with. There's also this backstage area which is the parking lot, and then you can ride in this forklift and if you press triangle and then press X you can hit your opponent. There's also this backstage area that is WWF New York on the right, but more on that later. Right now I'm going to show you what you can do in this. You can throw your opponent into this part of the backstage area, and then you could go in the boiler room. There's no like weapons I found in here, but you can jump off of those things right there, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, and if you push your opponents to these trucks, the alarm will go off on them, so yeah. You can also jump off of these trucks. If you wait on this part of the backstage area, I forgot to say this, but if you wait to this part of the backstage area, a car will come and it will like run over your opponent, so yeah. Also, if you beat December of season mode, you can unlock WWF New York. On season mode, if you beat December Michael Cole will tell you that Dead New York is unlocked, and then on the backstage area, you can go into Dead New York. That's what the backstage area Dead New York inside looks like. Yeah, looks really cool. You can also throw your opponent this part of the thing, and then the TV will fall down and you can pick it up and hit your opponent with it. There's also this backstage area, which is a kitchen. You can put your opponent through these things. Throwing your opponent in the stove will make the fires rise up, so you can also jump off of these things. Alright, then there's survivor mode. You have triple threat, fatal 4-way battle royal. And then you have handicap mode, which is where you have 1 on 2, 1 on tag, and 1 on 3. Then it's an anywhere fall match, which, like a hardcore match, you can fight backstage. Yeah. Then you have a Royal Rumble match. And then you have a King of the Ring match, which is where you have a single tournament or a special tournament. And then you have a special match, which is where you have a lot of options of special matches, like casket, which is where you try and put your opponent in the casket. Cage match. Unlike the first game, you can actually jump off the cage this time, or you can escape the cage. And then you have TLC match, which is where you can do all kinds of fun things in this, like jump off the ladder onto the table on the room, or in the ring, or on the announce table, or while you're out of the ring and while the person's in the ring. So yeah, it's a really fun match. However, this mode can only be unlocked by being a certain part of season mode on the first year. So yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, you can just do like a single match, or you can go for a title in the TLC match. And for the first time ever, we have Hell in a Cell match. And while this is cool, we get a Hell in a Cell match for the first time. It doesn't really look like a Hell in a Cell. Anyways, you can push your opponent into this part of the Hell in a Cell. And you can also dive out of the ring too. Forgot to mention that. Also pick up this part of the cell and hit your opponent with it. You can also throw your opponent on top of the cell and throw them down in the ring. And then pick up that part of the Hell in a Cell and then hit your opponent with it. One more thing I mentioned about this match is that you can go on top of the cell, and while your opponent is on the announce table, you can actually jump off and land on them with it. So yeah, that's a really cool effect. There's also I Quit match, where you beat up your opponent badly enough for them to say I quit. You can also find this match backstage as well. There's also a special referee match, where you can choose 1 referee or 2 referees. So basically you can do the countouts, you can count the pins and submissions and stuff. Then there's a slobber knocker match, which is where you try to beat the most opponents and get the highest score. There's also a ladder match and a table match. There's also an Iron Man match. So you have single or special referee. Now this match is where you try to get the most points on your opponent in an amount of time, like 60 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, so yeah. Also, here's some interesting facts about the game. At first, the game didn't have an announce table right there, so yeah. There was a season mode cutscene of Chris Jericho saying "Welcome to Raw" as Jericho. What's weird is that he says on Smackdown, so yeah. And as I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, Big Show and Ken Shamrock were cut from the game. So yeah. However, they're labeled unknown in a Royal Rumble match, and sometimes, rarely, they'll appear just as unknown though. Also, if you have a Game Shark, you can use different heads for some career wrestlers. Now, almost all their body parts are already in the game, but their head models aren't really in the game unless you use this Game Shark. So yeah, like Sergeant Slaughter, Andre the Giant, Jerry the King Lawler. You can even create Big Show and Ken Shamrock, even though they're not in the game. Also, if you're Game Shark, you can do this really fun mode, which is a scaffold match. Alright, then you have options. And that's what the options menu looks like. So first you have rules 1. I was talking about the matches earlier. I already said what rules 1 was earlier. So yeah. And then rules 2. Like I said, rules 1, I already talked about rules 2 earlier. And then you got options. You got difficulty, camera angles, vibration, players indicators, sound, etc. The most interesting part about this is the background music. Also, the background music in this game just sounds so awesome, by the way. I absolutely love this sound in this game. But anyway, I was gonna say, BGM 1 sounds a lot Bound by Pen 2. Yeah, it sounds a lot like that. There's also system data. You can save, load, or copy. And there's credits, which shows some clips from 2000 WWF. So yeah, it's really cool. And if you watch the credits for all of it, you can see this message at the end. And I really like this message. It really does. It really is cool, this message is. And then there's create a manager, which is where you can create a manager. And then there's create a stable, which is where you can create a tag team. And then there's rankings, which shows you the rankings. So yeah. And then there's belt records, which shows you who's holding onto the belt. And then new to the game is create a taunt, which is where you can create a taunt. And then there's create a pay-per-view, which is where you can make your own pay-per-view. Then there's create a superstar, which is where you can create a superstar's appearance and moves. Now in create a superstar, if you complete like season mode on year 6, you can unlock every create wrestler option. And what I did is I made the new 2000 candy tire in the game, which you can create. So yeah, the one that he debuted with at SummerSlam 2000. I also made this alternate Undertaker attire. I also made this alternate The Rock attire, which you can also create in the first game. I also made an alternate Stone Cold attire, which you can also make in the first Smackdown game as well. I also made another Stone Cold alternate attire. I also made an alternate Eddie Guerrero attire. I also made Goldust in the game. I also made another alternate Undertaker attire. Also on this game you can make some attires from the first Smackdown game for the wrestlers, like Road Dogg, Matt Hardy, Al Snow, The Rock, The Godfather, Undertaker, and Jeff Hardy. And last but not least, there's season mode, which is where you can match, enter status, belt records, rankings. Now in this match you can actually skip the match and it'll show you the battle meters, and then it'll show you who won the match. Now in the season mode it shows a lot of cutscenes, and I noticed that I picked Triple H for the season mode and it has a lot of DX cutscenes, so I don't know if that was a purpose or if it's just a coincidence, but yeah, there's a lot of DX story in this. Also, here are some more cutscenes from the game. There's also this Edge and Christian benefits of flash photography cutscene, and it's really cool. Then there's The Rock doing his people's eyebrow, and that's a pretty cool cutscene. Also, during a cutscene, sometimes a random creative wrestler will walk and attack your character or some other character. Yeah. Also, there's this cutscene with the Dudley Boys. Yeah, pretty cool cutscene. And then there's this cutscene with APA. And there's also this cutscene with Stone Cold destroying the DX bus. Now this is of course a reference to the episode of Smackdown on April 27, 2000, where Stone Cold destroyed the DX Express. Yeah, so it's a reference to that. Except Stone Cold isn't wearing his camouflage gear like that. Also, a deleted cutscene of DX kidnapping a character was supposed to be in the season, and a character getting married and having a TV show or a commercial. that was cut from the season mode. Also, here's some miniatures in the game. Here's some more loading screens in the game. Now in that parking lot backstage area that I said earlier, the car looks a lot different in some other version of the game. I can't remember what it was, but it looks a lot different for some reason. Also in the game is this climb glitch that where if you go down, press circle, and then get up, and then go down, press circle up, you can like climb to way up. So yeah, it's cool but weird. So in Smackdown Just Bring It, right? There's a Smackdown 2 commercial, and yeah, the commercial is really funny. It has Kurt Angle in it, holding Smackdown 2 Know Your Role. Yeah, it's a pretty funny commercial with Kurt Angle. Also, you can see the behind the scenes of the Smackdown 2 commercial in the game. Yeah, and it shows the behind the scenes of the commercial with Kurt Angle and stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting. Here's what the ad looks like for the game. So needless to say, this game improved a lot over Smackdown 1, and it's my third favorite WWF WWE game. Anyways, thanks for watching my Smackdown 2 review.